The title of this message is going to be Keeping It Real. The city of Detroit doesn't have an active, healthy government. We don't have leadership that, for whatever reasons, in any capacity in local government, can get the tasks done to provide A, public safety, B, lighting, jobs, transportation, aid in the Detroit public school system, the water, the rights of the water. We have had so much deceit and fraud and extortion within our finances within the city of Detroit. We have areas where there's 75% unemployment. Our murder rate and our crime rate is through the roof. We used to have 5,000 police officers. We now have a couple thousand. I'm not here today to legislate, blame, point the finger at anybody, but I will say this. If the citizens of Detroit, the residents, who are living in such apathy, despair, lack of hope, no trust, don't start getting involved in the community, we're going to lose more lives, less is going to get done, and we are going to be taken over by our Republican administration. It's already in the works now. So here's what I propose. I truly believe that our only hope, which won't cost the city one dime, is if we lobby continuously to promote the incurrence of active neighborhood patrols, response by every single individual that lives in every house in the city of Detroit that's an able-bodied man or woman. Every single night at 7 o'clock, every neighbor needs to start coming out on his front porch, talking to their neighbors, and see what's going on in the street. As soon as nighttime occurs, as soon as it gets dark, we need to put our porch lights on. We need to walk down our streets, see what's going on. We need to put men on the end of every street in cars to watch our streets. We need to form block clubs, block patrols, every block in the city of Detroit. I'm pleading with the mayor, with the chief of police. They're powerless to bring safety to our city. Get on TV every night. Let's make public service announcements. Listen, Detroit, we know we have problems. We care about you. I encourage you to get involved in your community. Let's take our city back. We can do this, Detroit. We can do it. We can do it, but we got to do it together. We got to do it as a unified effort. Everybody in the city has to get involved. If someone's walking down your street and you don't know them, ask them what they're doing there. Report what you see. If we all work together, they cannot hurt us all. They cannot hurt us all. We can get men to organize these block clubs. We need to take every 4 to 6 blocks and give this as an assignment for someone to run an area all over the city. We must report. We must get involved in our neighborhoods. That's the only way, as a unified effort, that we can bring this back. Now, I got to tell you something. I just had dinner with a 19-year-old young man that gave me the idea to start boarding up houses. And you know what he told me? It's getting to the point where when people die or his friends die or he hears someone that young dies, it doesn't even faze him anymore. He just told me this, and I felt so saddened that a 19-year-old has lost all emotion for anybody dying, that it doesn't hurt anymore. And I got to tell you, that's a shame. But I understand that we have become desensitized by hearing about so much violence on a continuum, day in and day out, day in and day out. We have lost our ability to run our own city. There's no trust, there's no faith, and there's certainly no hope. And if we don't inspire our people by letting them know we got their back, we care about them, the mayor come into our city. Let him go down these streets. Let him knock on these doors himself and say, I got you. We're going to do this together, man. We can do this. We can bring this city back. We have a black city and a white downtown, and all the money that's getting invested is going downtown Detroit, but there's no commerce in the neighborhoods. We got a rig shop, a gas station, and a party store that overcharges on its food, that sells bad food, that talks about the residents behind their back in foreign languages, that overcharges them, and our nutrition problem is terrible. Our babies are eating big bags of potato chips, large, big gulps, fast food. That's all we have. All the supermarkets have left. Now, we can't blame these businesses for leaving the city due to the lack of violence, due to the increase in violence. We can bring them back if we show them that we're working in this city. We must work within our neighborhoods. We must clean them up. People have lost respect for one another, and the regard and welfare for human life is in the toilet. What are we going to do about it? Nobody cares about anybody anymore. We have lost our sense of humanity. There's too much jealousy, greed. Everybody wants to be on top. The leaders in the city, all they want to do is get all the money. They want to sell themselves out. They want to be bought out. There's very, very, very few good people that work for the common good. We want to make sure, that the election's coming up. We want to make sure that Obama gets reelected. But nobody's going out and voting. Nobody's talking about it. What are we going to do? Are you just going to sit back idly day in and day out and not do a damn thing? Are you not going to get out of your home? Are you going to close your blinds when someone next door to you gets hurt? Is this what it's come to? I know it is. What are we going to do about it? I'm proposing to you the only solution that won't cost the city a dime. Get your ass out of your house. Form a block club. If there's only 3 houses on your street, then let's put 6 blocks together. Let's all watch out for one another. These abandoned houses, they add such bad sentiment to our children walking by these houses on their way to school. Sexual predators, drug dealers are living in these houses. Listen, if we don't start getting together as a group in communities and reforming ourselves and re-engaging ourselves and start working together, it's never going to happen. We're going to lose more. What's going to happen is the government is going to come in and they're going to enact martial law. And I got to tell you something. If you're African American in the city of Detroit and they have government law, you know that your rights are going to be trampled on. Is this what you want? This is where it's leading towards. Because the governor wants to take over the city. They want to privatize all the systems in the city, the water, the power company, the transportation, the lighting, everything. It's in the works. So if time is run out, there's no more time left. Everybody in the city needs to get ID if they don't have it, go down and vote, and let's bring this president back in. The last thing that the Republicans want is to see Obama back in, and we got to do everything we can to make sure that he's reelected. So it's time to start standing up, Detroit. It's time that you start taking your own city back, because no one else is going to give it to you. More houses are going to get lost, more jobs are going to get lost, less opportunity is going to come your way. We used to have 2 million people here. We got about, 800,000. We're going to lose more lives, more babies. They're closing fire stations. They're laying off more police. My God, what do you want? Don't you see the writing on the wall? The schools closing, the emergency manager in the schools, the charter schools. And you know what? The charter schools, this is what they do. They put the better students in the charter schools, and the other students get left behind in the lousy environments. And the charter schools have all been, pretty much renovated. They're going to have less kids per class. It's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. So you're just sitting back and allowing this to happen. Everybody's just laying down for all this. Form a block club. Get out of your house. Let's start reforming our neighborhoods. It's the community. It's only the community that's going to save the city of Detroit. We have no leadership. You better recognize this. You got to recognize the fact that we don't have any semblance of good leadership that really cares about you, that can get anything done. I told you, I'm not interested in blaming, but look at the facts. Over 50% of all the lights are out in the city of Detroit. There's areas where there's 50 to 75% unemployment. Prices are through the roof. No supermarkets. Violence. The response time to police is terrible. The investigative measures that take place with families that have murders is terrible. It's a joke. The police even coming out if they're called is another story. Emergency medical services is another joke. All the mishaps with EMS, I mean, my God, we are the only hope we have is the power we have together in numbers to make a difference. We need 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people, man. We can rise up in a nonviolent manner. We can take back whatever we want. It's up to us to get together and save ourselves. The government ain't going to save you. If you think for 1 minute, all this time, that they've done anything good for you, you show me what they've done for you, because I want to know. And you're a sucker if you believe that things are going to get better, contrary to what they tell you. You're falling for the lies. You're falling for the deceit. You're falling for broken promises. You know, it's just like a drug addict going to the same drug house every day, and the guy tells him that the dope is right, and every day it's been lousy. I mean, what kind of fool are we? So we got to get ourselves together, and we got to unite. My name is Barry Ross. I'm on Facebook. I got a TV show, Mixing Up with Barry Ross. I'm on every Tuesday night on TV 33, Comcast 20. We are actively blowing up over 20 abandoned houses on the north end of Detroit, cleaning up 20 to 30 properties with 300 college students from Wayne State next month, August 24th, August 25th, August 31st, and September 1st, the Greater Detroit Restoration Project with the groups I mentioned, New Marcus Garvey Movement, Minister Malik Shabazz. You can hit him up on the phone, 313-646-3375, Minister Malik Shabazz at Comcast.net, Robert Louis Robinson II, it takes a village, y'all, Jay Bivens at the Better Detroit Youth Movement, me, Detroit Coalition Against Violence. You can call me, 313-355-2807, 248-417-9696. I'll stand behind everything I say here on this moment on video, that I can tell you, that I can stand behind everything I'm telling you. Nothing is going to change unless we change it. Forget about it. We need to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and start forming and uniting in groups to take back our city. You got to recognize. So listen, on those dates, August 24th, August 25th, August 31st, September 1st, we're meeting at 1150 East Lance, Lantz, at Russell. This is in 7 Mile 75 area. We're meeting at Nolan Middle School at 8 a.m. with 300 Wayne State students to get busy on these streets, board up these houses, clean up these high fields, and mow these lawns. We're asking you for support. We need donations. We're on PayPal. The Greater Restoration Project, the Greater Detroit Restoration Project on Facebook. I gave you my contact information. We need weed whackers. We need heavy tractors that you can sit down and mow down these fields. We need lawnmowers. We need skilled men with circular saws that can cut the plywood. We need measurers, and we need nail guns. We need a couple generators. We need the people to step up and get involved, baby. Step up and get involved. We're doing it. We're asking you to join us, and we'll show you how to do it. We're organizing. We're organizing with everybody who wants to get together with us. Okay? So, peace out, and there's more of this to come.